welcome back to Brochure's Adventures here on YouTube, and I am in Byron Bay, Australia, which is a place that I have been to before, as you saw from the videos. I just got done doing some adventures up and down the East Coast and decided that I like Byron Bay the most. So I decided to come and stay here for a few months while I started to figure out what I was going to do in 17, try to make some new and better lifestyle habits. So this video is actually going to be talking about my goals, travel and otherwise, for 2017. I apologize for lately my content being a little bit slow to come out. Throughout this video, if you see me sweating a little bit, it's because I'm out on the beach. The breeze actually helps, but it is about 35 degrees Celsius here. The first goals I'd like to talk about for 2017 are my non-travel related goals, because those are actually going to help me achieve my travel related goals in 2017. And my big one is going to be saving money, but the way I'm going to do that is by changing my habits a little bit. The first habit that I'm going to be changing is I'm going to cut my drinking. That's alcohol consumption, for those who aren't aware what I mean by drinking. I don't really drink pop either, but I'm going to cut my alcohol consumption, because that means when I go to the bars here in Australia, they're pretty expensive, around $9 or $10 a drink, if not more, which really eats away at a travel budget. The second that kind of goes hand in hand with Australia being expensive for some things is I'm going to cut eating out by 75%. I've already started doing this in the month of January, where I've been cooking every meal that I've eaten this month. I haven't went out once for a meal, which also teaches me to be able to cook on the road and gets me into a better habit of cooking instead of relying on going out for food. Plus, both of those save a significant amount of money that I can apply later on this year to the traveling that I want to do in Australia and elsewhere. And then in the spirit of making better habits, I'm also going to start reading. I want to start reading more like every day instead of once every few weeks. I want to get some books that really interest me, whether they be travel or non-fiction books that I can actually learn something from. Also, while I'm here in Byron Bay, I can learn to surf. I've seen a lot of people learning to surf. Alright, on to my travel-related goals of 2017, and my number one is to start creating more research and scripted content. Kind of like the video you're seeing here, I've got a little notepad with some information and facts that I've hashed out over the last few weeks. I really want to start doing more videos like that instead of spur-of-the-moment travel vlogs, because I feel that once I sit down and actually put pen to paper and make my thoughts more well-rounded, I can give you better information and more concise information in a shorter amount of time. So that's a big thing of 2017. Wherever I'm at, I'm going to start doing that. But since I do have the extra time here in Byron Bay, that's going to be a big focus. I do have 7 months left on my visa here in Australia, and that leads me to the end of July. I don't know if for sure I will stay through the entire visa. It depends on how quickly I do the things I want to do. I'm not in the slightest bored. I've only been here about 5 months, so there's still plenty for me to do in Australia. I've only worked my way from Melbourne all the way up to Cairns and then back to Byron Bay. So there's still most of the western part of the country that I'd like to explore. And the first thing is, since I've been staying in Byron Bay for a little over a month now, I'm going to continue that until probably the end of February. Continue making more scripted content, try to figure out exactly my plans for the rest of the year. I've got some rough ideas, which I've got an outline right here. So after leaving Byron Bay in what is probably going to be late February, early March, I'd like to go back down to the Sydney area and do the Blue Mountains, which I didn't get a chance to. So I really want to do Blue Mountains. Then after the Blue Mountains, if I have the chance to either rent a camper van or join some other people on travels, I'd like to travel down to Wilson's Promontory, which is closer to Melbourne than anything, but I would also like to use Melbourne as a jumping off point for Tasmania, so I'm just going to head back down the coast for a few weeks and head to Tasmania. And then if all goes to plan in March, by April I'd like to be back in Melbourne, going from Melbourne to Adelaide on the Great Ocean Road. I don't know if that's obviously going to be camper van or bus, but Adelaide and the Great Ocean Road are two of the big things for April. I would like to do Port Lincoln, which that is something I'm really excited about. I haven't planned it out yet, but I've had a few friends that have went to Port Lincoln for the great white shark cage diving that you can do there, and that's one of the things I'm going to check off my bucket list while I'm there. I'd also like to use Adelaide as a jumping off point toward the end of April to go to Alice Springs and Uluru and see a little bit of the outback. In May, I hope to be in Western Australia doing things like the Ningaloo Reef, the whale shark diving there, going to Perth, seeing the Kuoka? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, I'm trying to read it. The Kuoka, there's a little island off of Perth that has these little animals that love to take selfies with people, and they smile, and it's it's really cute. So I want to do that for sure. That'll probably only be a day trip, but it's one of the things I want to tick off before I leave Australia. But I do want to go back into Asia a little bit, for a few months at least, maybe 2 weeks in Bali to see some things that I haven't seen there before. Myanmar has been on my list for a while, and I could have done it while I was in Thailand, Vietnam, and Cambodia earlier this year, but I decided to leave it for later just because I wanted to be able to come back into that region and do a few more things and stay a bit longer. And then after Myanmar, the plan might be to go to Taiwan for a week, and then to South Korea for a week to see Seoul. My really big ambition for 2017 is actually toward the end of the year to fly to Panama, the country in Central America where the Panama Canal is located, to do a 10-week immersive Spanish class. I already know a bit of Spanish, and I try to teach myself more and more every week, every day, stuff like that. But I really need the push of being in an immersive environment, taking 10 weeks of 30 hours a week classes, private tutoring, and just living in a country that speaks Spanish all the time, that will really bump me to become a fluent Spanish speaker. And that's a goal that I've had since college even. I graduated in 2013, so it's been a few years that I haven't been achieving that goal. But that'll be toward the end of the year, and once I fulfilled that goal, I'm not exactly sure if there'll be much of 2017 left. I do also hope to go home this year for Christmas. I have missed 2 Christmases in a row, although I did go back in July to the US to see family and friends. But if I end up going back for Christmas in December this year, that means I'll have been away for over a year this time, almost a year and a half. Thank you for sticking around for the entirety of this video. I hope it wasn't too long, or I wasn't too long-winded in telling you my plans for 2017. Unfortunately, these are all just kind of an outline. There's no set plans yet. I don't really work with setting dates ahead of time. I just kind of go with the flow. So I would like to actually hear what your plans are for 2017, whether it be goals to lose weight, to travel more, anything like that. I'd love to hear them in the description down below. If you like this video and you think that I deserve a like and subscribe, also you can click the link down below to subscribe to my videos. Give a thumbs up if you really did like it, and then you can also check on this side of the video for my previous videos if you haven't seen any of my previous content. And if you'd like to keep up with me on social media, I've got links below as well for my Instagram, which is my most used social media. But again, thank you for bearing with me for this goals for 2017, and have a great 2017. Thanks.